You make $75,000 a year. On paper, you're winning. You have the degree, the career, and the salary that your younger self would have killed for. But every time you open your banking app, that number staring back at you feels heavy. It's that familiar, hollow tightening in your chest. No matter how many raises you get or how many budgeting hacks you try, you're still living in a state of financial low tide. You're earning more than ever before, yet you feel just as behind as you did when you were making 30K. It's not because you spend too much on lattes, it's not because you're lazy, and it's definitely not a lack of financial literacy. The truth is much more uncomfortable. Look at the image on your screen right now. See that crack? That is not a metaphor. That is a physical, neural pathway that was burned into your gray matter before you even knew how to tie your shoes. Most people think they learn about money in their 20s. They're wrong. You learn to be broke at age 7. And right now, in this very second, your wealth is literally leaking through that same childhood fracture. If you don't find a way to seal that, it doesn't matter if you double your salary tomorrow. You will find a way to stay stuck. But why 7? And more importantly, why is your brain secretly fighting to keep that leak wide open? Think back to when you were a kid. Be honest. What was the vibe of money in your house? Was it a source of quiet tension? Was it the thing your parents whispered about behind closed doors? Or was it the bad guy that kept your dad away at work for 12 hours a day? Between the ages of 2 and 7, your brain is in what neuroscientists call a theta wave state. You weren't a student, you were a sponge. You didn't have a critical filter to say, Mom is just stressed because the car broke down. Instead, your developing brain simply recorded a command. Money equals stress. Having money is dangerous. Seeking wealth causes pain. You weren't taught how to handle money, you were programmed with a financial identity. And here's the money rewired secret that most gurus won't tell you. Your brain doesn't care about your bank balance, it cares about your survival. If your brain associated having money or talking about money with family conflict at age 7, it will view wealth as a threat to your social safety today. This is why you accidentally forget to pay that bill, or why you suddenly feel the urge to buy something expensive the moment your savings account hits a certain number. Your brain is trying to get rid of the threat. It's trying to return you to the safety of being broke. But here's where it gets strange. Have you ever noticed that you seem to have a financial thermostat? Think about your income over the last 5 years. You've probably had raises, maybe even a big bonus, but somehow after 6 months, your lifestyle expands just enough to keep you at the exact same level of stress. You're like a thermostat set to struggle. No matter how much heat you pump into the room, no matter how much money you earn, your brain opens the windows to let the wealth leak out until you're back at 68 degrees of anxiety. Why does your brain do this? It's called neural mirroring. As a child, you mirrored the financial emotional state of your caregivers to stay bonded to them. If you become too successful or too rich, your subconscious fears you will no longer belong to the tribe you came from. You're literally self sabotaging to stay relatable to your past. You are protecting a 7-year-old version of reality. Now, this is where things get really interesting. Most people think the solution is a better spreadsheet, but you can't fix a hardware problem with software. If the pipe is cracked, it doesn't matter how much water you pour into the top, the leak remains. You've been trying to pour more income into a cracked neural pipe. But what if the leak isn't just a mistake? What if the leak is actually a dopamine loop? Every time you experience a financial crisis, a sudden car repair, an unexpected tax bill, a lapse of judgment on a Friday night, your brain goes into survival mode. In that mode, you get a massive hit of adrenaline and focus. You figure it out. You survive. And when the crisis is over, your brain rewards you with a dopamine hit of relief. Over 20 years, you've become addicted to the cycle of financial near death and rescue. You don't actually want to be rich. You're addicted to the rush of surviving being broke. Does that sound like you? Which one are you? The one who spends to feel normal or the one who creates crises to feel alive? If we don't fix this pattern, you're looking at another decade of the same cycle. You'll earn more, you'll work harder, and you'll still feel that leak. But here's the terrifying part no one realizes. The leak actually gets wider as you earn more. It's like a high-pressure hose. The more pressure or money you put through a cracked brain, the faster the money sprays out. This is why celebrities go bankrupt and why your neighbor who makes 200K is secretly drowning in credit card debt. So, how do we seal the crack? How do we move from the old brain to the rewired brain? It starts with something called interrogating the impulse. The next time you're about to make a purchase or the next time you feel that itch to spend your savings, I want you to stop. Don't look at the price tag. Look at the feeling in your chest. Ask yourself, is this me making this decision or is this the 7-year-old trying to get back to safety? You have to understand that your current financial state is just a neural projection of your childhood home. You are not your bank account. You are simply a victim of a very old, very efficient biological program designed to keep you safe in a world that no longer exists. To rewire, you have to become comfortable with the threat of being wealthy. You have to teach your nervous system that having an extra $10,000 in the bank isn't a reason to panic, it's a reason to breathe. But there's a deeper layer to this, a layer that involves how your brain actually perceives the value of money itself. Most people view money as math. The rewired brain views money as energy. When you have a leak, you're not just losing dollars, you're losing your life force. You're losing the hours you spent away from your family, the stress you endured at the office, and the dreams you put on hold. When you see the leak for what it really is, a theft of your future, the dopamine hit of spending starts to feel like a poison. Think about the now brain. It's bigger, it's more capable, but it's still carrying the exact same wound. You've grown up, but your money habits haven't. You're an adult trying to build a skyscraper on a foundation made of Play-Doh. The real problem isn't that you don't have enough money. The real problem is that you don't have the neural capacity to hold it yet. You're like a cup with a hole in the bottom trying to hold an ocean. We have to seal the hole first, and that starts with identity shifting. You have to stop saying, I'm bad with money, or I'm always broke. Those aren't observations. Those are neural commands. Every time you say them, you're taking a hammer at that crack and making it wider. Instead, you need to start practicing financial stillness. Can you sit with $500 in your pocket and not feel the pressure to turn it into something else? Can you look at a 5-figure bank balance and not immediately think about what needs to be fixed in your house? That pressure is the 7-year-old screaming. Your job as the adult is to tell that child, we are safe now. We don't need to be broke to belong. And once you start noticing this pattern of the childhood leak, something strange happens. You begin to see that this isn't the only way your brain is secretly working against your bank account. In fact, there's a specific biological reason why your brain might be physically blocked from even seeing wealth building opportunities in the first place. And the MRI proof of this is actually mind-blowing. If you want to see exactly how your brain shuts down when it smells too much success, you need to see what we discovered about the wealth block in your neural pathways, which I break down right here in this video.